Hey guys, week 9, Nathbet.com. Hope you are all well. As you can see, another terrible day in San Diego. You should count yourselves lucky back in England with all that beautiful weather. I've got to slum it over here, but someone's got to do it, and that is me. However, that doesn't mean to say that you can't come over here. We're going to win you plenty of money. Get on those flights. Okay, no messing about today. We're going to go straight on with a double because I'm so excited about the bets this week. I really think that we've got some crackers. The daily double, the safe double. Number 1, Everton playing Liverpool this weekend, Merseyside derby, huge game for both clubs, and I really fancy Everton to take the spoils in this one at Goodison Park. Liverpool play tonight, that's why we're a little bit late this week. I wanted to see how they played over Anzi. They beat Anzi 1-0, however they played pretty much a full strength side, which is very, very strange, especially with a big game such as the Merseyside derby coming up. Everton, I would have absolutely loved them if Fellaini was fit. If Fellaini's doubtful, but he should play. If Pienaar was fit, then I really would have loved them. But I still think they're going to have too much with the likes of Morales, with the likes of Jelavic, who had a full week's rest. Like I said, Liverpool have just played tonight, so they're going to have two days rest basically before they go to Goodison Park. I think at 7-4, I really like Everton. I don't think there's going to be many goals in the game, but I think the odd goal, Everton are going to win by either 1-0 or 2-1. They're available at 7-4. Big price, and I'm taking them at that. And we're going to double them along with Sheffield United. Don't know if you know Sheffield United in League One, guys. They have not lost a game this season. They are undefeated still, which is a fantastic achievement. They've won 6 out of the last 8. And they're at home to Portsmouth. Now, Portsmouth have done pretty well this season with limited resources that Michael Appleton's had at his disposal. However, I feel that a trip to Sheffield United will be too much for them. Their away form's iffy. Their home form's been pretty good recently. Sheffield United at 5-6, I think, is a really good price. So we're going to take them. Sheffield United and Everton, 7-4 and 5-6. The safe double. That gives us a big 3.86 to 1 double with Betfred. Now, if you didn't get on with Betfred last week, I did tell you about that fantastic registration offer. No money deposited. You don't need to deposit a single penny of your own money. They will give you £10 absolutely free. If you haven't got that, if you haven't got a Betfred account still, and that offer is still available this week, definitely get involved. It's free £10, no worries. Another one this week, Betfred. Is a great one, and Bet365. Bet365, if you haven't got an account with them, then you can deposit £100, £50, £25, however much you want. They will put the same amount, exactly the same amount that you've deposited in, for free as well. You need to bet that money through 3 times. However, they will match the money that you put into your account. So I think you should get involved with that too. But Betfred's a great one. I mean, £10. No worries, no questions asked. I think that's great. So, like I say, if you haven't got an account, then make sure you do. Okay, on to the treble. The treble will start with Spurs. They visit Southampton. Now, Spurs played tonight as well. They drew 1-1 at Maribor. They played a few first-team players, maybe a couple more than I would have liked. Jermaine Defoe, Aaron Lennon, Stephen Colker played. They're all probably going to be playing again on Sunday. However, Southampton, as you've seen this season, are really struggling. And I think the visit of Spurs will be too much for them. I think Spurs are too good a side, and they've got too much squad depth these days to be worried about a trip to Southampton. They've still got problems with the strikers, and I don't think they're scoring goals. And I just think that that Spurs are going to have far too much for them on this occasion. So they're 8-11, and we're going to take them along with Aston Villa, who play Norwich. Now, Aston Villa are a funny side. They're up and down, and they're difficult to predict. Last week I backed them to lose at Fulham, and they did. However, looking back at the game, I think Fulham were fortunate to get the win. Really, they had plenty of chances, Villa, to steal all 3 points, and they didn't end up taking away anything from Craven Cottage. Darren Bent got really called to the side. He wasn't his usual self, and I think he's probably going to have to prove a point to Paul Lambert this week. I think he'll keep with him in his starting 11, and home game against Norwich, even money is too good to resist, so we're going to take them at evens. So we've got Spurs, we've got Aston Villa, and we're taking Newcastle as the third game in our treble. Newcastle play West Bromwich Albion. West Brom have been fantastic this season, they really have. I think they're 7th or 8th in the league at the moment, and you know they are a very, a good match to anyone, especially Newcastle. It's going to be a good game. Newcastle, the third team who play tonight. A couple of starters who's probably going to play on Sunday. Papa Cisse, who's really struggling for form, but he's probably the only one in that Newcastle side. Cheick Tiote, he played as well. But they were at home to Bruges. I don't think it would have troubled them too much. And like I say, they've got a few days rest now before the home game with West Brom. I think that Newcastle have got a really good fixture list coming up. This is the first of them. They drew with Sunderland last week, and I think that the likes of Barr, the likes of Ben Afra will be rubbing their hands together. And like I say, even though that the West Brom, have done really well, I think that a trip to Newcastle, I don't think they're going to come away with any points at all. Newcastle even money, I think, is a good price. So that's Newcastle, Villa, and Spurs. Gives us a 6.5 to 1 treble. That's with Pinnacle and Bet Victor. Before I go on to the fourfold, if you looked at Pete's long shot last week, very, very close to coming in. He's got a tenfold for us this week. Good old Pete, and I think it's probably going to be in the hundreds, 200s, 300s to 1. But if you've got a spare 10p, 20p, 30p, then come on, why not? Better than a can of Coke, right? Okay, fourfold. 4 different teams. 2 from the Championship and 2 from League 2. First team in the Championship, Cardiff City. They play host to Burnley. Now, Burnley had a really good draw last week. A good draw. They had a really good win at home to top of the table Tranmere. I left them alone last week because I thought the impact of Eddie Howe going back there would have really got the fans going, and that's exactly what they did, and they came away with a good win. However, a trip to Cardiff is a completely different beast altogether. 8 to 11 Cardiff, really difficult team to play against, top of the table with Leicester City, and however much Eddie Howe's magic he can work, I don't think he's going to have enough to do anything at Cardiff City. So we're going to take them, Cardiff, to beat Burnley at 8 to 11, along with Wolves, who played Charlton at home at Molineux. Wolves have been up and down, however they've really picked up recently. The home form has been questionable, and they drew midweek 2-2 with Bolton. Last minute goal from Bolton stopped Wolves getting all 3 points. But the most important thing about that game was Kevin Doyle getting back to full fitness and getting to goals. He scored both of Wolves' goals, and along with the likes of Jermaine Pennant, who's on loan from Stoke, I think that they're going to have too much for Charlton. Wolves are just under even money. I think it's really, really good, 5 to 6. So they are our second bet of the fourfold, Cardiff and Wolves. And then the 2 in League 2 that we take, like I say, we like to take on form here at Nathbet, and we're going with the form and taking Gillingham, top of the table. They've been magnificent all season and will definitely, mark my words, go up to League 1. They are travelling to AFC Wimbledon, who cost us last week. Actually, they got a really good draw from nowhere. I don't think Lightning's going to strike twice, and I really feel that Gillingham will win at AFC Wimbledon 5 to 6. Nice price indeed. And the last of our fourfold, Chesterfield United playing Barnet. Barnet are the worst team in the Football League at the moment, 7 points all season. Chesterfield at home, 8 to 11 shouldn't pose any problems for Chesterfield whatsoever. Chesterfield will be too much for them. And at 8 to 11, that gives us Cardiff, Wolves, Gillingham, Chesterfield, a 9.65, just under 10 to 1 fourfold with Pinnacle, Bet Victor and Bet Fred. That is it for this week. Next week I will be in Florida, in Disney, for Halloween Horror Nights. I'll have a special Halloween for you. But like I said, there'll be a little bit of a spectacular surprise this week. That's this boy, this pumpkin. Get ready, make sure you start trick or treat and get those costumes. And that is it for me and for this guy behind me, who's obviously loving the sun. And we'll both be back next week for you, hopefully, with some profits. Alright guys, take care. See you soon. Bye bye.